Hey, welcome to Bahasa Little Project, and this is your level 1 lesson 4. Last time we have learned some verbs as well as some nouns. We have learned subjects and we have learned the adverb of time as well as the adverb of place in Bahasa Indonesia. If you haven't checked it out, if you haven't listened or watched to those lessons, I really recommend you to do that before you continue with this lesson. Okay, and if you have, now it's the perfect time to improve your bahasa and continue learning and continue your journey of learning Bahasa Indonesia, okay? So let's start our lesson today by learning grammar. And we will start this lesson by learning how to create negative sentences. So to create negative sentences in Bahasa Indonesia, it is relatively simple because do not, does not, did not, or will not, all of them equal to tidak. Okay, so again, do not, does not, did not, will not, all of them mean tidak in Bahasa. Tidak. Okay, repeat after me. Tidak. Tidak. Okay, so we will use this tidak to say no, and we will create sample sentences, of course, using the new word that we have learned. And as you just learned, this word is very versatile because you can use it to mean do not, does not, did not, and will not. Okay, but before we move on, we will first of all learn 3 useful expressions. I think, again, as I mentioned this over and over again in every lessons that we have, useful expression is something that is important because you will be able to use this expression in your daily, activities. So we will start by learning how to say excuse me in Bahasa. To say excuse me in Bahasa, you simply just need to say permisi. Okay? How do you say it again? Permisi. Permisi. Okay? So that's how you say excuse me. Permisi. And then, how do you say good afternoon? We have learned good morning in the previous lesson. I think it was in lesson number 1. And here we will learn how to say good afternoon, which is selamat sore. You have learned the selamat part in selamat pagi, right? And this is the good afternoon version, which is selamat sore. So afternoon is sore in Bahasa. So again, good afternoon is selamat sore. And then we have good evening, which is selamat malam. Okay, so evening is malam, so selamat malam or good evening. good evening is selamat malam. Okay, so we have learned 3 useful expressions. Number 1 is permisi or excuse me, and then we have learned selamat sore or good afternoon, and selamat malam or good evening. Okay, so those are the useful expressions that we will cover, and also we will learn how to create sample sentences using the useful expression. Okay, all right, so now let's learn vocabulary first. So we will learn more nouns because previously in lesson number 3 we have learned several nouns, but I think now it is important for you to know more nouns in order to create a more complicated sentence. Okay, so beside learning more nouns, we will also learn how to say or an in Bahasa. It is quite simple because there is no differentiation between or an in Bahasa. So basically, if you want to say or an, you can just say sebuah. Okay, how do you say it again? Sebuah. 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 Okay, so a book is sebuah buku. So obviously, book is buku. It sounds quite similar, right? So again, a book is sebuah buku. A pen is sebuah pen. An apple, an here, but again in Indonesia, you just use the same word, which is sebuah, and then apple, which is apel. Again, relatively similar. Sebuah apel. Sebuah apel. That's the normal, the normal speed. Sebuah apel. a car is sebuah mobil. So car is mobil. Okay? And then a TV is sebuah TV. It's the same as in English. TV is TV in Bahasa. And an artist is seorang artis. So now you are learning something else. So for things or stuff, for in animated object, you need to say sebuah. Okay? But for people, if you want to say a person, an artist, an actor, a doctor, you cannot say sebuah, but you need to change that into seorang. Okay? Seorang. So remember that we don't have a or an in Bahasa Indonesia, but we do have different different article for stuff or thing which is sebuah, and for animated object or for person which is seorang. Again, an artist is seorang artis. Artist has the same word, very similar, artist, and then we also have actor, which is actor. Okay, actor. So you cannot say actor, but actor. So again, an actor is seorang aktor. Okay, always try to repeat your new vocabulary over and over again. It is very important so that you can master it and you can use it in your daily life when you are practicing your Bahasa. Okay, so those are the new vocabulary that we have learned today. And now let's create sample sentences. Sample sentence number 1 is kemarin mereka tidak menulis sebuah buku di sekolah. Now, this is already complicated, of course, and it's quite long. So you need to really make sure that you have mastered the previous lessons that you have learned. Because if you haven't, then this is going to be very, very hard. But if you have followed all the lessons in the previous lesson thoroughly, and you have mastered all of those, these sample sentences are quite easy. So kemarin is, of course, yesterday. Mereka is they. Tidak is a grammar word that we have learned just now, which mean tidak, which mean no, right? Did not here. Menulis is write. Sebuah is and buku is book, and di sekolah is at school. So kemarin mereka tidak menulis sebuah buku di sekolah is yesterday they did not write a book at school. So normal speed would be kemarin mereka tidak menulis sebuah buku di sekolah. That's maybe quite fast. Maybe a little bit too fast. So normal again, normal. Kemarin mereka tidak menulis sebuah buku di sekolah. Okay? So that's our sample sentence number 1, and then sample sentence number 2 is tidak. Hari ini mereka tidak membeli sebuah pen di sekolah. Now you have to differentiate between the first tidak and the second tidak. Okay? Because tidak number 1 here means no. Not, do not, did not, will not, does not, or do not, right? You also have learned the first tidak in the previous lessons when we learn about a useful expression. No is tidak, and yes is ya, right? If you haven't, again, go check out the previous lesson. So here tidak means no. Hari ini is today. Mereka is they. Tidak membeli, of course, did not again, because this action has happened in the past. Sebuah pen is a pen. Di sekolah again at school. So here tidak, hari ini mereka tidak membeli sebuah pen di sekolah, mean no, today they did not buy a pen at school. Okay? Number 3, our last sample sentence is maaf, besok dia tidak akan menonton TV di rumah. Again, you have learned this expression, maaf, very useful, which means sorry, of course. Good job for remembering that. And besok is tomorrow, dia, he or she, tidak akan, will not, of course, right? So, tidak akan, this is something rather different. So, for did not, you do not need to add anything. You can just use did. You can just use tidak, and also for do not and does not is the same thing. But for will not, you need to add the extra akan, the extra will that we have covered previously. Akan mean will, so will not is tidak akan, which literally translated into not will, but in Indonesian it is that way. Okay, so will not is tidak akan, not will. Okay, so you know the different way of saying thing, obviously. So again, maaf is sorry. Besok dia tidak akan. Tomorrow he or she will not, or not will in English, but in Indonesian not will, right? Tidak akan menonton, watch TV at home. Okay, so I think that's pretty clear by now. Now let's test yourself. I think it's very important now to test yourself. Number one is, how do you say tidak? Yesterday she did not see an artist at school. Number one is tidak is of course no. And then yesterday, kemarin, she did not see an artist at school. Dia tidak melihat seorang artis di sekolah. Okay, so for number 2 and number 3, try to test yourself and answer the 2 questions and write down the questions. Write down the answer, your answer in the comment section below if you are watching this lesson on YouTube. And if you are not watching this on YouTube, for example, if you are listening to this on Spotify or something, then go ahead, find it on YouTube. The channel is the same, Bahasa Little Project, so you can see the question here and you can also participate in answering the question, and we will check your answer and we will give you some correction if your answer is actually incorrect. Okay, so that's for our lesson number 4. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Bahasa Little Project for additional lessons. You can practice your Bahasa also by joining our Facebook page. You can find our podcast on Spotify if you haven't already. And the last one, this is quite important. Support us on patreon.com/Bahasa Little Project to get exclusive contents and exclusive Telegram group. Okay, so I hope this lesson is useful for you. Remember to always practice your Bahasa out there and use it with friends, with your new friend, with your new boyfriend or girlfriend from Indonesia, so that you will soon master the language. Okay, so my name is Alit, and that's the end of our lesson number 4. We will see you again at level 1, lesson 5. Bye!